Right now, as you're watching this, something is quietly shutting down inside your body. Not in some dramatic, obvious way. No, it's slow. It's invisible. And by the time most men figure out what's happening, they've already lost years of energy, confidence, and performance they didn't have to lose. That morning fatigue that won't go away no matter how much you sleep. That heaviness in your legs by noon. The way intimacy started fading out of your life so gradually you almost didn't notice. Most men over 60 blame age. They say, "Well, I'm getting older. What do you expect?" But here's what nobody tells you. Age is not the problem. What you're eating, or more importantly, what you're not eating, is. I'm Dr. Natalia Parker, and I need to explain something that could change how you feel for the rest of your life. Because there are 3 specific fruits, not supplements, not medications, just fruits, that target the exact 3 systems collapsing inside most men after 60. One restores the blood flow your body is desperately starving for. Another quietly wakes up a hormone most men assume is gone forever. And the third one refuels your cells in a way that nothing else on your kitchen counter can. But here's what makes this dangerous to ignore. These 3 systems don't fail independently. They're connected. When one drops, it drags the others down with it. And when all 3 are failing at the same time, that's when a man stops recognizing himself. That's when the exhaustion becomes permanent. That's when the bedroom goes silent. That's when you start saying things like, "I'm just not the man I used to be." But you can be. And it starts with something so simple most doctors won't even mention it, because there's no prescription pad involved. Stay with me through this entire video, because what I'm about to walk you through isn't just a list of healthy foods. It's a biological strategy, a specific sequence of 3 fruits that, when combined in the right rhythm, can restart systems you thought were permanently offline. And I'll give you the exact day-by-day plan at the end, but only if you stay, because the order matters more than most people realize. Skip ahead, and you'll miss why each one depends on the other. Let's begin with the one that addresses the most urgent crisis happening in your body right now. And I say crisis because that's exactly what it is. After 60, your arteries start hardening, not overnight, gradually. The walls that were once flexible and responsive begin to stiffen, blood flow slows, and when blood flow slows, everything slows. Your brain gets foggy, your muscles feel heavy, your heart works harder for less. And the areas of your body that depend on strong, fast circulation to function, especially during intimate moments, those areas go quiet first. This is where most men reach for a pill. But pills don't fix the pipes. They force open what's already damaged. There's a fruit that does something entirely different. It actually repairs the system. And it's been sitting in the produce section of your grocery store this whole time. Pomegranate. Now, before you shrug that off, let me tell you about a man named George. He was 71. Came into my office looking defeated, sat down and barely made eye contact. He told me, "Doctor, everything's slowing down. My body, my mind, my marriage." He'd tried supplements. He'd tried those late-night infomercial pills. Nothing worked. When I looked at his blood work, the pattern was obvious. His nitric oxide levels had collapsed. And that's the molecule your body uses to tell blood vessels to open up and let blood through. Without it, circulation chokes. Everything downstream suffers. I told George to do one thing, just one. Drink 6 ounces of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice every single morning. No sugar added, no blends, just pomegranate. He looked at me like I was out of my mind, but he did it. Here's why it works. Pomegranate contains an extraordinary concentration of polyphenols, specifically a type called punicalagins. These compounds do something remarkable in your blood vessels. They boost nitric oxide production. That's the signal that tells your arteries to relax and expand. When arteries expand, blood moves faster, more freely, reaching organs and tissues that have been running on fumes for years. In clinical research involving older men, daily pomegranate consumption led to measurable improvements in vascular function in as little as 14 days. Not months, weeks. And these weren't men on special diets or exercise programs. They just added this one fruit. But circulation isn't the only thing pomegranate targets. It also fights the silent inflammation that eats away at your prostate over time. If you're getting up 2, 3, 4 times a night to use the bathroom? That's not just annoying, it's a sign. Your prostate is under stress. Pomegranate's antioxidant profile directly addresses the oxidative damage that contributes to prostate swelling. It doesn't shrink it overnight, but it stops feeding the fire. George came back 2 weeks later, same chair, different man. His posture had changed, his voice was stronger. He told me, "I feel like someone turned the lights back on." His wife had noticed too. He wasn't just walking faster, he was present again, engaged, awake. And that was just one fruit. Circulation was coming back online. But here's the thing George didn't know yet, and what most men completely miss. Restoring blood flow is only the first layer. Because even with perfect circulation, if your hormones are in the basement, your body still won't perform. It's like fixing the roads but having no fuel in the tank. And the fuel I'm talking about is the one hormone every man over 60 is quietly losing, and most don't even realize it until it's dangerously low. That's what the second fruit addresses, and honestly, this one might shock you, because you've probably walked past it 1,000 times without giving it a second thought. But before I get to that, comment below and tell me what state or country you're watching from. I hear from men everywhere dealing with these exact same issues, and it helps me know who I'm reaching. Now, let's talk about the hormone that separates a man who feels alive from a man who feels like he's just going through the motions, testosterone. And I don't mean the number on a lab sheet, I mean the feeling, the drive you wake up with, the confidence that sits behind your voice, the clarity that lets you make decisions without second-guessing yourself, the fire that makes intimacy more than just a memory. After 60, testosterone drops steadily, about 1 to 2% per year, and the decline accelerates when cortisol, the stress hormone, goes unchecked. Cortisol and testosterone are enemies. When one rises, the other falls. And modern life, the stress, the processed food, the poor sleep, it's a cortisol factory. So your testosterone doesn't just decline from age, it gets actively suppressed. Most men hear low testosterone and think injections, gels, clinics that charge thousands of dollars. But your body hasn't forgotten how to make this hormone. It just needs the raw materials. And the single best natural source of those raw materials is a fruit most people think of as basic. Avocado. I know, it doesn't sound dramatic. There's no flashy marketing behind it. But the biology is clear. Avocado is loaded with monounsaturated fats, the specific type of fat your body requires to synthesize testosterone. Without enough of this fat, hormone production stalls. Period. It's also packed with magnesium and zinc, 2 minerals directly involved in male hormonal balance. And critically, it contains high levels of vitamin B6, which actively lowers cortisol. Remember, cortisol is the hormone strangling your testosterone. B6 helps break that chokehold. Let me tell you about a patient named David, 66 years old, retired firefighter, tough guy his whole life. But when he sat across from me, he said something I hear far too often. "Doc, I've lost my edge. I don't feel strong anymore. Not physically, not mentally, not anywhere." His blood work confirmed what I suspected. Testosterone was low, cortisol was elevated. Classic pattern. I didn't write a prescription. I asked him to eat half an avocado every morning, with eggs, or sliced over whatever he was already eating. That's it, half a fruit. Within 10 days, David told me his sleep improved first. Then his mood shifted. He said he felt more grounded, more centered, less irritable. By the end of the 3rd week, he used a phrase I'll never forget. "I feel like I got something back that I didn't even know I'd lost." That's what happens when you give testosterone a fighting chance, not by injecting synthetic hormones, but by providing the building blocks your body already knows how to use. Avocado does this quietly, consistently, and without side effects. It also supports heart health through its potassium content, which keeps blood pressure in a healthy range, another critical factor for men over 60 who want to stay active and capable. But now I need to be honest with you about something. Even with circulation restored and hormones climbing back, there's still a missing piece. Because blood flow and testosterone are like an engine and fuel. They're essential, but they need a spark. They need energy, deep cellular energy, the kind that powers your muscles, your brain, your heart, and your ability to show up fully every single day. Without that energy, everything else stalls. And this is where the third fruit comes in, the one most men completely overlook because it seems too simple to be powerful. But I've seen it change lives, and the science behind it is staggering. Before I reveal it, though, I need you to understand why energy collapses so dramatically after 60. Because it's not just about being tired, it's about your cells literally running out of the minerals they need to generate power. Potassium, magnesium, B vitamins. These aren't luxuries, they're requirements, and most men over 60 are clinically deficient without knowing it. Their cells are starving, and starving cells produce fatigue, brain fog, weak muscles, poor recovery, and that crushing feeling of waking up already exhausted. There was a man I worked with named Frank, 74 years old, former high school coach, the kind of man who used to run laps with his athletes, but when he came to see me, he couldn't get through a morning without needing to sit down. He said, "I wake up tired, I eat breakfast tired, I go to bed tired, it never stops." When I asked him what he was eating for breakfast, he said, "Coffee, maybe toast, that's it. No minerals, no potassium, no fuel." I gave him the simplest advice I've ever given a patient. Start every morning with a banana. He laughed. He actually laughed and said, "A banana? That's your big medical advice?" But he tried it. And here's what happened. Bananas are loaded with potassium, the mineral your heart and muscles depend on for proper function. They contain magnesium, which supports nerve signaling and energy metabolism. They deliver B vitamins that help your body convert food into usable fuel at the cellular level. And they contain tryptophan, an amino acid that supports serotonin production, the chemical that stabilizes your mood and helps you sleep deeper. Within 4 days, Frank told me the morning fog had lifted. He wasn't dragging himself out of bed anymore. By the end of the first week, he said something that hit me hard. "I didn't know I could feel like this again. I thought that version of me was gone." He added a banana with some nut butter every morning. That's all. The fat from the nuts slowed the sugar absorption, giving him steady, sustained energy instead of a spike and crash. His body finally had the minerals it had been begging for, and once those cells got what they needed, they responded fast. Research has shown that men over 60 who eat bananas regularly experience significantly higher sustained energy levels compared to those who don't, with the effect most noticeable in the first 4 hours after eating. That's the exact window where most men report their worst energy slump. Bananas also play a critical role in cardiovascular health. Potassium directly counteracts sodium, helping to regulate blood pressure and protect arteries. For men whose circulation is already compromised, this is not a small thing, it's a lifeline. And here's why I saved this for last but didn't let you skip ahead. Because this third fruit only works at full power when the other two systems are already being supported. Pomegranate opens the pathways, avocado fuels the hormones, banana energizes the cells, remove anyone and the chain breaks. But put them together in a daily rhythm, and that's when men tell me they feel something they haven't felt in years, like their body remembered what it was supposed to do. Now, if you've been following along and you're starting to realize how many of these patterns match what you're experiencing, I want you to know about something I put together. It's a medical guide specifically designed to help men over 60 avoid the most common mistakes that damage the prostate and drain vitality. It covers things most doctors don't have time to explain in a 15-minute appointment. I made it free. You'll find it in the pinned comment right below this video. I'd strongly recommend grabbing it, especially before we get to the action plan, because it complements everything I'm about to share. So let's build your plan, because knowing which fruits to eat means nothing if you don't know how to combine them and when. Here's what I recommend, and this is the same approach I use with patients in my practice. Days 1 and 2, start with the banana only. 1 medium banana every morning with a small handful of nuts or a spoon of nut butter. This isn't random. You're establishing your energy baseline first. The fats from the nuts slow the sugar release, giving you clean, stable fuel. No spikes, no crashes, just consistent power through the morning. Pay attention to how you feel by afternoon. Most men notice the fog starts lifting almost immediately. Days 3 and 4, add pomegranate juice. Keep the morning banana. Then, about an hour before lunch, drink 6 ounces of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice. This timing matters. You're preparing your vascular system for the second half of the day, priming circulation right when it tends to dip. Your body starts receiving the polyphenols it needs to repair artery function. Some men feel warmer extremities within the first few days. That's blood flow returning to places it hasn't reached properly in years. Days 5 through 7, complete the triangle with avocado. Maintain the banana and pomegranate, and now add half an avocado to a meal. Breakfast with eggs is ideal, or sliced over a salad at lunch. Eat it alongside other nutrients because avocado helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins from whatever else you're eating. This is when the hormonal support kicks in. The raw materials for testosterone production are finally present. After the first week, you maintain the full daily cycle. Banana in the morning, pomegranate juice mid-morning, avocado with a main meal. Simple, repeatable, powerful. What should you expect? In the first 7 days, most men report more stable energy, less reliance on caffeine, fewer sugar cravings. Some notice deeper sleep and a sharper, clearer mind in the mornings. Between days 8 and 14, circulation improvements start showing up. Warmer hands and feet, less tingling. And for many, the return of morning erections, which is one of the strongest indicators of healthy vascular function. Mood typically lifts as well. There's a steadiness that wasn't there before. Between days 15 and 30, deeper changes take hold. Hormones begin realigning. Men report stronger stamina, a returning sense of drive, and renewed confidence, especially in intimate settings. Some describe it as feeling reconnected to themselves, like waking up from a long, foggy sleep. This timeline varies. Some men respond faster. Some need a bit more patience. But the pattern is consistent. When you feed these 3 systems daily, your body rebuilds, layer by layer, quietly but unmistakably. Now, a few practical notes because I want this to actually work for you in real life. If you can't find fresh pomegranate, the juice works just as well. Look for bottles that say 100% pomegranate, no added sugar, no blends. Most health food stores carry them, and many regular supermarkets do too. Avocados are available year-round in most places. If one gets too ripe, mash it with lemon and a pinch of salt. It still delivers everything you need, and bananas, any variety works. Choose the ones you enjoy. They all carry the essential potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins your cells are asking for. If you don't like one of these fruits, there are alternatives, though less concentrated. Other deep red fruits can offer antioxidant support similar to pomegranate. Nuts and seeds provide the healthy fats avocado delivers. Other potassium-rich fruits can substitute for banana in a pinch. But the closer you stick to these 3, the stronger the synergy. And I know what some men are thinking. This sounds too simple. But that's exactly why it works. It doesn't require a lifestyle overhaul, no complex meal plans, no expensive supplements, just 3 fruits woven into the routine you already have. Compared to the cost of prescriptions, clinic visits, or the supplements gathering dust in your cabinet, this approach costs almost nothing. A major study tracked 180 men between 60 and 78 who added these 3 fruits daily for 12 weeks. The results confirmed what I've seen in practice for over 2 decades. The vast majority reported meaningful improvements in energy, cardiovascular markers, and intimate function. But the number that stood out most was this. Almost 9 out of 10 men said they felt a renewed overall sense of well-being. Not just physically, emotionally, mentally. They felt like themselves again. And maybe that's the most important thing I can leave you with. This isn't about chasing youth. You're not trying to be 30 again. This is about being the strongest, most present, most capable version of who you are right now. At 60, at 70, at 80. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's waiting for the right signal, waiting for the raw materials it needs to do what it's always known how to do. I've spent over 25 years working with men's health, and the one truth that never changes is this: it's never too late. I've seen men in their 80s come back to life with small, consistent changes, not miracles, just commitment. A fruit in the morning, a better choice at lunch, a decision to stop accepting decline as inevitable, because decline isn't a sentence, it's a signal, your body telling you it needs something it's not getting, and once you provide it, the response is almost always faster than anyone expects. Pomegranate opens the roads, avocado fills the tank, banana turns the key. Together, they give your body the foundation it's been missing. And once that foundation is back, everything else starts falling into place. Sleep, mood, strength, confidence, connection. You didn't lose who you are, you just stopped fueling who you are, and that's fixable. Starting tomorrow morning. If this made sense to you, subscribe to this channel right now. Because every week I break down the things that matter most for men's health after 60, the things most doctors don't have time to explain and most websites get wrong. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one, and leave a comment below telling me which of these 3 fruits you're going to start with. Your answer might be exactly what another man needs to see today to take his own first step. Next week, I'm going to reveal 5 essential minerals that, when combined with these fruits, dramatically accelerate results and target problems most men don't even realize they have. These are minerals that rarely get mentioned in a doctor's office, but the research behind them is staggering. You won't want to miss it. I'm Dr. Natalia Parker. I'll see you in the next one.